Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review, and today we are jumping back into the world of Halo as we take a look at some UNSC Marines. This is a 3-pack from Jazzware Toys, and these are from the Halo Infinite game. Alright, so I'm very excited to check this out. The Marine 3-pack is an excellent army builder. If you're looking to build up your Marines and your Spartans, and you just want a nice big chunky army of good guys, this 3-pack is the way to go. You kind of need some cannon fodder, you kind of need some troop support. This is the set. So right off the bat, we have our 3-pack. The package design is nice. The box is a little too big, I feel, for these smaller action figures, but it's all right. As you can see here, we have 3 UNSC Marines. The guy on our left has the assault rifle. The one in the middle has the rocket launcher. And the one on the right has the battle rifle. And over here in the lower left corner, we have good old Master Chief. On the back, the World of Halo. So here's some of the other figures in the line. So be on the lookout for these. And many of these action figures I've already reviewed, so go check that out. I've also reviewed the play sets, and these are awesome. I love the vehicles, like the Gun Goose and the Shade Turret. They're awesome. Alright, let's get these guys out and get this started. Alright, first off, each figure comes with a different display stand, and these are the newer design stands. These are wonderful. It's so great that they provide these display stands with the action figures, because for one, it gives you stable foot ground for displaying your action figures. And number two, it's this awesome terrain. It looks nice on your shelf, and it makes the figures, I don't know, kind of breathes a little bit life into your display area. There's different textures. We have a gravelly, rocky texture. This is kind of a little bit more of like jungle foliage, and this is kind of a little bit like muddy grass. Really nice. Okay, so we have the rocket launcher that came with this guy in the middle. We have the battle rifle, came with this Marine, I believe. And then we have the assault rifle, which came with this guy. Alright, so far, I think I'm very fortunate, because I don't think any of my weapons were bent or warped in the package. I've had really bad luck with the World of Halo. Like, every time I remove the guns, they're always kind of like this bent and warped. But these are pretty straight, so I'm really happy about that. At this scale, I think these are about 4-inch scaled action figures. The weaponry, it's really nicely done. The sculpting's excellent. The detailing's nice. These look like the weapons from the game. Here's the rocket launcher. This one's a little bit warped towards the tip. But you can easily remedy this with some hot water. Submerge it in hot water, and then once the plastic softens, just reshape it and straighten it out. And then once you have it straightened out, run it under cold water, and then it'll cool the plastic down and harden it. This one's a little bit bent also, but more so towards the back. But the details are nice. Really well done. Okay, let's take a look at the Marines. These two Marines look to be similar, but they're not. The one thing I like about these designs is that it's kind of very reminiscent. When I see these, they kind of remind me of the Cadian soldiers from Warhammer 40k, if you're familiar with that. But they also, I mean, everything just seems kind of derivative of the Colonial Marines from Aliens. So, you know, if you're familiar with the Aliens films, the body armor is very reminiscent of like the kind of armor that like Hudson and Hicks would wear. Now, these two figures, they are not identical. There's some subtle differences. For one, if you pay close attention to their heads, each one's wearing a different mask. As you can see. In terms of their body armor, this one here has a sheath and a knife on like below the chest, whereas the one here, he has pouches. Whoops, drop that one. Color scheme wise, they share the same color scheme. They kind of have olive green body armor with kind of like, looks like desert colored camo. Below the waist, this one has shin guards, whereas this one doesn't. They have different knee pads. This one has like bulkier knee pads. This one has a little bit smaller ones. In terms of size, these figures fall. I want to say they fall in like a little bit, maybe a little under 4 inches tall. So, you know, much smaller figures. So yeah, let's take a look at these guys one last time. Up front, notice the difference in their faces. Notice the difference in their chest and their lower legs. Side view. They both have holsters sculpted onto the legs. Unfortunately, you can't remove the pistols, so those are just for decoration. And in the back, they both feature sockets for their weapons, so if you want to store their rifles in the back, you could do that. The fits plugs in nice and smoothly. No, it's not fighting you. Good look. Let's do the same for this guy. There we go. Yeah, so these are great army building figures. If you really want to build up your Marines, this 3-pack is the way to go. You know, I can see this being really popular on the shelves. And then we come to this guy. Very unique sculpt. This one has, you can actually see his face. It looks like he has his binoculars or rangefinder at the top of his helmet. The sculpting is really well done. This one also has the knife on the chest armor. He has the darker gray sleeves, no shoulder pads. Again, the desert camo, black gloves, sidekick pistol. The much smaller knee pads. And the rocket launcher has a peg on the back. It's just, the peg's a little bit short, but I believe you can still plug it in without any issue. Yeah, like that. Yeah, great figure. Like the other figures, I believe this one's smaller as well. This one falls in a little bit under 4 inches, much like his brothers. Now, if you're to compare these figures with like a Spartan, let me grab some Spartan figures. We have good old Master Chief, and we have Spartan Cavallino. So in the fiction, whenever a human character wears the Spartan armor, their size is just, they're just much, you know, taller and larger. I believe in the fiction it states that the Spartans stand close to 7 feet tall. So that makes sense. You know, these guys really tower over the Marines. Yeah, so the size difference between these two characters it's really shocking. You know, I think in your head, especially when you're playing the games, you know, if you're playing as Master Chief or a Spartan, I think you never really, you know, since the game's played in first person, you don't always see how tall he is next to the other characters, unless it's like in a cutscene or cinema. But Master Chief is, you know, a lot larger, a lot taller. It's kind of disjarring. Here's Spartan Cavallino. Again, much taller, larger character. But yeah, this 3-pack is great for building up your armies. And I love these bases, especially the newer designs where they fixed, you know, the connectability. Because the older bases, there was an issue. You couldn't like connect them like coming from the top. You're only able to connect them like side to side. So this one's the newer design's a lot cleaner. It's a lot easier. And you can like really build out your terrain. You know, you get your figures on here. Nice display base. Yeah, so great figures all around. All right, so if I had to rate this 3-pack on a scale of 1 to 10, you know, without a doubt, perfect 10. For 1, you're getting, you know, somewhat generic characters, but they're fun to army build. I'm sure if you're skilled enough, you can even do some part swapping if you know how to disassemble the figures. You know, it's nice that each figure is kind of its own unique look. You know, it's not like you're getting the same of any one figure. And the figures that, you know, kind of do closely resemble each other, at least there's some subtle differences. Like, for example, this one has the pouches, whereas this one doesn't have them. You know, this one has the shin guards, whereas these two don't. Yeah, so this 3-pack, I think, is a must-buy. You know, if you're really into the world of Halo, you know, this is great. You know, this is something I really wanted as a child. Like, when I used to collect the older, like, 3 3/4 G.I. Joes, I always wished that they made just, like, figure packs where it was just, like, the generic Joe characters. You know, in the 80s and 90s, we never got that, but, you know, I do believe, like, in the early 2000s and mid-2000s, and even with some of the movie lines, I think Hasbro, they were keen on giving us like troop building packs. So, you know, eventually Hasbro did give us like army building sets, but that came much later. But it's cool to see that in the world of Halo, you know, army building packs, the idea is not, you know, overlooked or neglected. So it's cool that if you want to build up a nice like platoon of Marines, you can easily do that. Alright, so let's wrap this video up. Once again, my name is Lou. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber or viewer, thank you so much for your continued likes, comments, and support. I greatly appreciate it. So, until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I will see you at the next one.